here today by two very, very special authors, one of whom is going to be officially releasing a book for all of us. And the book being released today is titled The Secret Wish List. We have the author. We're so pleased to have her here with us in person, Preeti Shenoy. A round of applause for her, everybody. And sitting right beside her is also very noted author Kiran Manral. Thank you so much, Kiran, for taking time out to be here with us and discuss this book with Preeti. And a very special thank you to all of you who've taken time out on a weekday to speak at this time. Thank you so much for being here, for showing us your support, to members of the media as well. Thank you so very much. A very special mention to Westland, the publishers of this book. Can we have a round of applause for them as well? I think if it wasn't for encouraging publishers like Westland that give books like these an encouraging platform, we wouldn't have been able to reach these books out to all of you. So once again, a very special thank you to Westland. To everyone in the audience, as you all know, at Crossword, we aim to be a point of social and cultural interaction, where authors and poets hold court, where children are regaled, where people gravitate to be informed and to be entertained and to be enlightened. We're gathered here officially to launch the book, The Secret Wish List. And just before we move on and unveil a copy of the book for all of you, of course, we have the author that is going to tell us a lot more about the book in detail. But my job is to just give everyone a very brief synopsis of what this book is all about. Does true love really exist, or is it just a cliche? Can a single kiss really change your life? Well, the plot as it goes is, at 16, Diksha, like any girl her age, finds her life revolving around school and boys and endless hours of fun with her best friend. But one day, all that changes. What starts as an innocent crush explodes into something far beyond her control. 18 years later, she finds herself at the crossroads of life. Urged by a twist of events, a wish list is born. But can a wish list help her piece back her life together? Will she succumb to the tangled mess of an extramarital relationship? Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Preeti Shenoy brings an extraordinary story that tugs at the heartstrings with insight and wisdom as she explores the delicate matters of the heart. The Secret Wish List is a captivating, engrossing, racy tale about following your heart, chasing your dreams, and the meaning of friendship. Well, to tell you a little more about Preeti, she's a best-selling author and artist. She's had several academic qualifications, but she believes that life in itself is her biggest teacher. She's an avid blogger, a poet, a nature lover, and a yoga buff. She loves playing... So sorry about that. When we make a mistake, we make a complete opposite mistake, and that's hilarious. So once again, she loves playing basketball, traveling, and spending time with her family and her dog. She's currently based in Bangalore, India, and to know more about her, you can also go to her website, which is preetishenoy.com, and you'll be also glad to know a very unique fact is that she's also on the Forbes India Celebrity Long List. So that's an achievement in itself. Well, I'm not going to talk any further. What I'm going to ask Kiran and Preeti to do jointly is unveil a copy of the book for us. And everyone in the audience, this is the official launch of the book. Though it came out a while back, this is what is going to be available to all of you at Crossword, The Secret Wish List by Preeti Shenoy. A round of applause for her, everybody. A very special thank you to Westland, the publishers of this book, for making this event possible. And congratulations to Preeti, and a very special thank you to Kiran Manral for being right by her side to launch the book.
They all look in the same direction.
Thank you so much. Well, I'd like to now kickstart this discussion by asking the author herself to tell us about how this book happened and to tell us about her association. Well, it's going to be a very freewheeling discussion between Kiran and her with a bit of reading in between. So I'm just going to ask both of them to sort of take over from this point. Thank you.
the mic first. And I'd like to say that Preeti and I go back a long way because we're both bloggers, and much before I had my book out, she had her first book out, and we've gone through the journey of being bloggers and authors to authors. So there is a certain kinship that I feel with Preeti, and I read her book her book which was
the second book, I think you read, yeah.
Life is What You Make of It. Much before I read Preeti's blogs or knew about her, and that book really touched me because it was a very different story from what was coming out in the market. It was the story of this girl who's dealing with a mental illness and disorder, and she was struggling to come to terms with it with a family that was very confused as to what was happening from a small town in India. I thought her portrayal of a girl from small town India was so accurate. And Preeti, I'd just like to ask you, how did your journey into writing come about? From blogging to writing, was it a natural progression, or did it just sort of...
Yeah, the thing is, I've always written, right back from college, from school, you know, when I was a kid, I used to make these little books. I wanted to make a full-length book. The maximum that I could manage was 8 pages, and that was, if you counted the, drawings which I did in it. So I always wanted to write. I never knew at that time, how do these people write these, fat books of 200, 300 pages? Will I ever be able to do it? And then for me, the turning point came when I lost my dad in 2006. I was very close to him, and it was the grief was too much to bear. And that was when I discovered that I really couldn't go, crying on people's shoulders, because how long will you? The depression was really bad. So I started this blog to just cope. I would post these little inspirational things, and I was writing mainly for myself. I had no clue then that I would be a published author one day. And I had started it anonymously, because I was so scared of the internet.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, nobody knew who I was. So my first post reads, now that I have an anonymous identity, I will express more what I feel. That's how it reads. Because I was so scared of, the big bad internet. You never know who's reading your posts and things like that. And then the response which I got from the blog was tremendous. I never expected that kind of a response. And then someone said, and actually at that time most of my readers, surprisingly, were from the US. And they were Americans. So, and one of my posts got picked up by a radio show host in the US. And it won the Perfect Post Award. I remember this was way back in 2007.